Mike, how you doing?
Chino, how are you?
You're a big man around town these days.
Well, I'm a big man, I know that. I'm trying to get smaller.
Poor training
Yeah?
with medicine balls.
Really?
That's what you do when you're middle-aged. You
All
pick
right.
up those medicine balls as many times as you can.
Right.
I'll show you a routine.
Not hard candy balls.
No,
Medicine
medicine
balls.
balls.
Yeah?
You know, 6, 8, 10 pounds.
Well, you look pretty good.
That's what I've been doing.
All right.
It keeps that middle-aged gut down.
All right.
So you've lost weight anyway. You
I've
do
had-
look a hell of a lot
I do?
better.
Well,
From the old days?
yeah.
Would you ever grow
When I
that
was
beard
hairy
back?
and all
Yeah,
that.
would you ever do that?
I don't know. Geez, I hate shaving. So do you, obviously, by the look
No,
of
I
it.
don't. I just buzz it. I don't use a
Yeah.
shaver.
No, I don't like shaving.
But you're the chairman of the board,
I am.
right?
Well, for now.
Yeah, what's
so
going
far,
on with that?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
So the paper said that you were completely taken back by it.
It was a
shock.
surprise, yeah.
Did that bother you that it was a surprise?
Well, sure. Yeah.
Do you think that you should have talked about it first?
That's what I would have done, yeah. Yeah.
Why do you think it happened?
It's still kind of a mystery to me, to be honest. I found out, as I was walking into the meeting, it's like 5 minutes before the meeting, and Patty said to me, just so you know, Brian and I are going to make a motion to remove you from the chair and put Rick in the chair tonight. I had no inkling that this was coming or why, and I asked why, and she didn't want to talk about why, and Brian made the motion in the meeting, and some nice things were said about Rick, all of which I agreed with, but nobody really said anything about why make a change right now. And it's what is it, Friday afternoon? I still haven't heard.
Would
any
that be something
specifics.
that you'd want to actually talk about in a public setting, or is it something that they could say to you, "Hey, this is the reason why"?
Well, I think of myself as a pretty open person, and I talk to my fellow board members a lot. We talk, run into each other, call each other, what's going on, So I would hope that they would, if they had an issue with me, that they would feel like they could talk to me about it. But my sense is that this is very kind of just a political thing.
Well, wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
good
it only
question.
makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
Who would you say? How's the board aligned?
Well, I hate to even speculate about that.
But everybody knows.
At the beginning, I mean, politically, personality-wise, I suppose the people have a perception that there's an alignment, between Patty and Brian and
Right.
Alan and Rick and myself. And but I think last year showed that we could work together really effectively as a group. I think we had one of the most productive years ever on the board last year with the exact same group of people. So why we were able to do that then and things are tougher now, I don't understand why.
Well, why would it be so bad for you if it actually did come out? I mean, next week they're going to bring it up again. Is that the idea?
Yeah, we put it on the agenda for next week.
What's so bad if you do lose it? If the board's working well anyway,
Yeah,
what difference
no,
does
it's
it
not so bad.
Is it just a feelings type thing? Or?
Well, that aside, I mean, the nature of the business that we're in is that there are disagreements, and we take votes on things, and sometimes people win and sometimes people lose, and then we all carry on with the work. So, the personal feeling stuff, I try to keep out of it as much as I can. My concern is that setting a precedent like that, where if you don't agree with the chairman about some policy issue or something like that, then you vote them out in the middle of a term. I don't think that's ever been done before. And I think there's a reason why you want to have some kind of consistency and decorum about that. And if it gets to the point where every time you disagree, you start voting each other in and out of chairs and vice chairs and things like that, I don't think that's what people elected us to do. I think they want us to spend our time working on issues. We have some really big issues on our plate right now. So I think that would be a bad precedent to set.
Mm-hmm.
If members of the board have an issue with how I'm chairing or anything like that, I'm totally open to them talking to me about them. I think I've been very accommodating with people, whether I agree with them or disagree with them. Anybody can get anything on the agenda that wants something on the agenda, you know. So I feel really good about how I've conducted myself, and that's all I can do.
What kind of feedback have you gotten?
Well,
I mean, obviously the people that know you, that like you, are going to say something.
they are, yeah. And but I've gotten a pretty overwhelming, you know, I get a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls, people telling me, you know, it's funny. It's nice to get their support, and they say, we think you're doing a great job, and we hope you can continue. But then the other part of the message is always, why is the board doing this? Why are you spending your time and energy on this stuff when there's so much other more important stuff to do? And I couldn't agree with that more. You know, what
Okay.
I'm hoping that we get to the meeting, we dispense with this issue when it comes up on the agenda, and move on and take care of business. That's what I'd like to do. That's
Okay.
what I'm there for.
All right.
You know.
Well, I wish you all the best.
Thanks.
And
Thanks.
keep up the good work.
Thanks. I love the work.
You did.
I love being chairman.
Yeah.
I love not being chairman. I love doing the job. You
What's one issue that comes to mind that we've really got to?
Man, you know, waste options.
Yep.
We've got a real opportunity. We've
What do we
created a
got?
good relationship with them
Yep.
now. We can sit down and kind of rationalize how the whole thing is funded, and they can make a fair profit, and we can pay the thing fairly. Sewer rates we're doing next week. We're trying everything we can to keep those as fair as we can and still pay the bills. It's
Yeah,
hard.
right.
Sherburne Commons is in trouble, and it's not a problem that we created, and not a
Right.
problem that we can even fix, really, but it's out there and it's on our plate. And you know, there's all the other everyday stuff. You know, budget. We've got to start working on the next budget now that we've just finished this budget, because things, I think, are going to get a little tougher before they start to get better.
Well, maybe it's good for us to be going through something like this, where checks and balances.
You know, I can look at it like, you know, you run your computer for like a couple of weeks and it gets all gummed up with stuff, and so every once in a while you got to restart the machine and clear everything out and see where you are.
Yeah, sometimes you got to defrag.
Runs smoother
Yeah.
that way.
Get
But I
rid of
think,
all the
you
little
know,
bits that shouldn't be there too.
yeah,
And I think a lot of people expect that. when
I
times
think
are
they
tough.
do. You know, and to be fair, you know, town employees need our support as well. I mean, they didn't create the economy. They didn't, you know, they work for the town for probably less money than you'd make in the private sector, for the great benefits that they get, but also for a sense of job security. You know, the whole idea of working for the government like that is you make a few sacrifices, but you know that when times get tough, you're going to be there. So
That's a good point.
we're working hard to keep everybody employed and spending money in the community and everything else.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
All right, my pleasure.